in and around the world of media, crazy stuff, and news and happening. So today's show, what I mainly want to look at are some of the weird things that has come across my desk around pop culture. The first one I want to do, I will dive straight in to an audio grab of it and see if people know what this is.
Direct hit, Det 9.
Damage report.
Structural latching system integrity breached.
Prepare to take us out of here, number one.
Fire up the engines, half impulse till we clear the nebula, then punch it up to warp 9.
Ready phasers, load forward torpedo bays. Engage.
Warp tractor beam is attempting to lock on.
Fired well. Continue rotating shield frequency.
Shields failing.
All right, we'll pause it there for a sec. You probably would have heard the sounds from Star Trek. For those that remember the Next Generation, you would have heard some of the classic voices from that series. You got Worf and Picard there. But you would also may have heard some interesting audio samples way back from 1973, drawn from the Star Trek cartoon series that came out in 73 to 75 after the original season of Star Trek ran. And what's really fun about this is a kind of fan creation that took the Next Generation Star Trek show that aired in the 80s, 90s, and gave it an animated makeover a la 1973 original series Star Trek. So it has this wonderful, Funimation was the company that did it, Funimation animation style, which was notoriously cheap but effective, and color scheme, and most importantly, sound samples. So we would have heard some of those, for those that nostalgically remember the 73 cartoon like I do, you may have heard some of the kind of orchestral scenes. The visuals don't translate to radio, of course, but if you do watch it, which I encourage you to do, just search for Star Trek, Star Trek The Next Generation animated series on YouTube. It'll pick up this kind of wonderful flat, kind of super flat style of the animation, as well as the color scheme. So the Borg cube, of course, is kind of this beautiful purple color. A little bit about, I guess, this production. Again, it's a fan edit. It was going to be launched for April Fool's Day, but missed the timing of it. This comes out of Toronto. A huge fan of both the Next Generation series and the original 70s cartoon series. Now, that audio clips we heard were from the Best of Both Worlds Part 1, which is the classic Star Trek Next Generation episode where Picard, of course, gets taken by the Borg. So we have little scenes of the Borg kind of assaulting the bridge and the Enterprise kind of squaring off against the Borg cube and, Picard being captured. Let's actually listen to a little bit more of Picard's capture and Locutus, where it becomes Locutus. Let's listen to it now. See if you can identify what parts are from the original Next Generation series and what were the original 73 animated clips.
Tractor beam has locked on.
There's no use. They've already adapted to the new frequencies.
about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about the Star Trek Next Generation animated series, which has been... about
Consideration Champion Series, which has been 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 Consideration Champion Series, which has been